My name is Mike Brew, and I'm talking about Illustrator Part 2. Your prerequisite was Illustrator Part 1, where we looked at the Illustrator interface and saw how to draw basic shapes. Within the Part 2 class, people who take this class are wanting to go beyond just drawing the basic shapes, making the basic print ad, into making Illustrator so that it makes that print ad stand above the rest. Lesson 1 in Part 2 is talking about working with the advanced features of the Illustrator interface, how to create that custom workspace so that it works for you. We go more in depth into the preferences of Illustrator and how those Illustrator preferences help you to change how the grids and the guides lay out your artboard so that your art is as precise as possible. We talk about snapping to the pixels and how your vector lines then will become sharper because you've got them actually following where the pixels would be. We know that everything rasterizes. And when working with vector art, we have to work with those rasters behind when the image actually gets flattened and rasterized, whether for web or for print. In Lesson 2, we go beyond the basic shape. Sometimes your logo is complex, but it's made of simple shapes. We see how we can use the Shape Builder tool to combine those shapes so that our resultant path, though complex, was made actually by using simple shapes. We also look at how we can use layers inside of Illustrator to come up with different compositions of the image. We also look at how we can take that image and we can trace it, whether it's a photographic image that we've imported in either as a smart object or we've imported in as a raster graphic, and trace that image so that we can use the resultant's path, whether to make it as a cartoon or get it ready for animation outside of Illustrator. Lesson 3 is enhancing our artwork by using painting tools. If you're going to paint, you're going to use brushes. And so we look at how we can use the brushes that come inside of Illustrator to our advantage. We use the various and sundry brushes, whether it's a calligraphic brush, whether it's artistic brush, whether it's a line brush. We look at how we could use those brushes without a Wacom tablet and with a Wacom tablet. We look at how we could use different bristle effects as we use those brushes. Along with using brushes is then going and taking the varied paths that come off of the brushes and flaring them so that we can use them for complex artwork. Color is important inside of Illustrator. So in Lesson 4, we work with colors. First of all, we build the colors, see how to mix the colors together. Maybe we need to use that color over and over again. And so we go in and we make swatches, and we work with the swatches pattern. Not only the swatch libraries that come inside of Illustrator, but maybe your company has specific colors that they use as part of their logos, as part of the colors of their marketing materials. Well, we see how we can build those colors, put them into a swatch library, and use that swatch library from document to document. We also look at how we can create color groups, harmony colors, colors that look good together. So we build color groups inside of Illustrator. It may be that you use Pantone colors or other ink manufacturers, and so we see how we can reach out to those Pantone libraries, focal tone libraries, true match libraries, and from those Pantone colors, bring them into our artwork. Lesson 5 takes a concept that we learned in Part 1 and builds on it. The idea of working with character styling and paragraph styles. We review what we covered in Part 1 and we add to it. We build multiple character styles, multiple paragraph styles, and then apply those styles not only to the document that we're in, but make it so that we can use those styles in other documents. We also create for ourselves object styles so that if we have a style in a library, We can use that style library from document to document. We'll import styles, we'll export styles in and out of Illustrator. Lesson 7 focuses on print. How we can get our illustration ready for print. How we can put it into a print style. How we can make sure that the quality of the image is up for print. We'll also look at how we can take that image, export it out for print as an Illustrator document, and also how we can have it ready as a PDF. Lesson 8 is preparing the image for the web. Not only getting the quality out of the image so that speed is there, but also getting it so that it is in the format of a scalable vector graphic, an SVG file. In order to do this, we're going to have to slice the image up so that as the processor brings the image in, it brings it in as many different slices, which brings the image in faster. With that scalable vector graphic, we can have one slice that actually serves to click on the image and maybe take us to a different link, or we could animate one of the slices while the other slices stay scalable. We also make it so that in the web production of the image that we can export the image out for web and make sure that all the slices come in the order that we want. Lesson 9 within Illustrator is all of the new features. Looking at each version of Illustrator and explaining how the new tools came in and enhanced Illustrator. Adobe wants Illustrator to be a turnkey solution, that it's not just for vector graphics. So we explain how the new tools, perspective drawing, our shape builder tool, our blob brush, how all of these new features make Illustrator a turnkey solution for what you need. My name is Michael Brew, and I've walked you through Illustrator Part 2. If you have any additional questions about Illustrator Part 2, contact your account executive or your career consultant, and they'll be glad to answer questions about this particular class. Remember, this class is a build-on of Part 1. It's for those people who want to go beyond basic shapes. Hope to see you in class.